Might not be right, but it's how I did it. What's up?
What are you doing?
I'm hooking up a system. No Smurfs was harmed in the blowing of his hair. So before I put the system in, I wanted to put down this tape. I acquired the same tape that I was gonna put down in the S10 for sound deadening and whatnot. Got a big piece of it. I'm just gonna put that right here. I'm gonna use the smaller pieces and what's left over. Go around the trunk lid and around the edges and up here where the 6x9s is. I have Infinity Reference 6x9s in there too. They sound, I mean, they almost sound like subs themselves. Yeah, now I can take all this off. Right now I'm just kind of putting it in there, seeing how it's all gonna fit, cutting it to size a little bit before I peel this backing off of it, because once that's there, whatever it hits, it's gonna stay there. This stuff right here is, this stuff is extremely sticky. I got the first piece done. Didn't go as bad as I thought it would, but it could have been better. I definitely would do probably smaller pieces at a time to avoid the crinkling up right here and the overlaps right here, because you know it's just a sheet or flat sheet. Probably would have been better for me just to do this bottom half. Then well, I got it all in there, at least as much as I could. On this side I'm not too worried about because I got that quarter panel all messed up. I'm gonna have to fix anyways, but I kind of ran out of material, but I got most of it done to the best of my ability. Might not be right, but it's how I did it. Well, running out of daylight, plus it's starting to rain. So I'm heading over to my cousin's house, Sanchez. And he said I could swing by anytime I need to, so I want to swing by and use this garage, put this stuff together without getting wet. He's home. Got the garage closed up though. A lot of times he leaves a little clicker in his car, so should be an issue. Yep, got this clicker out. There it is. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Alright, so what I got here is 3 10s that I'm putting in and a 1500 watt RMS skar audio that I got off the interwebs. I got this back when I worked at Harman. Got a good deal on them. Back in the day I used to just throw subs together. Go off the peak watts, throw them together and hope they work. You can do that, but you can't really do that. So these are, it says 1000 watts, right? But really these are 1800 watt peak, 45 watts RMS, and this is 1500 watts RMS. So 450 times 3 is what, 1350? 1350 RMS watts is what I need, because you don't go off of just a peak. Now, what is RMS, you might ask, and why does it matter? Let me get out the old book for you. RMS, finally found it. What is that? Root mean square. That's what RMS stands for. And pretty much what that means is, next page, is of course this is hooked up to 12 volt to your car or whatever, but this is not a DC, you know, it's a speaker, it goes in and out, so it has positive, negative, really, really quick, right? That's what makes it go boom. And this is kind of how it looks when it's doing that, positive, negative. So the RMS is an average, pretty much. It's where it's going to be the most consistent, where you're actually hearing it at. But anyways, that's what RMS is. Now let's get into ohms. Alright, so now we got ohms. Pretty much speaker is a resistor. Voltage is going through it, causing amperage, current, and this is a resistor. That's a resistor. Pretty much resistance is an opposition to current. The force feeding back to it. Restriction. You can't just throw this together. You gotta figure out what ohms your amp is or what it can handle. This right here is supposed to be a 1 ohm stabled amp. You got to add your speakers together, or at least pure the way you're wiring it, whether you wire in series or parallel. What is that? Let me show you. Ta-da! Series would be like this. You got your 10 ohms, 10 ohms, 10 ohms. When it's wired in series, you add all of them together, which 10, 10, 10 will be 30. As far as this, there's a selector switch. Picture that upside down. Whether it's 2 ohms or 4 ohms, whether it's using single voice coil or dual. So if you hook all them up together in series right there, it's going to be 12 ohms. And that right there will be 6 ohms if you wire them in series like that. The only thing you do in series is just add the ohms together. What's up?
What are you doing?
I'm hooking up a system.
When did you do what? I never said you could do this.
Bro, you said that I could swing by anytime.
Well, that don't mean just whenever you want. You gotta give me some kind of warning.
You said any time.
God damn, man. How much longer do you got?
Damn it. Still won't fit. Not this way. I don't know what I'm gonna do. I am getting this box in here somehow. Damn speaker box was a pain, but I got it in there with some minor damages, but it's alright. I'll fix that, but it's in there. Next step. So I'm gonna be running my speakers in parallel. So pretty much all the positives are gonna be hooked up and all the negatives are gonna be hooked up together. And then I'm going to put it on 2 ohms, which makes it where you're using both voice coils in parallel. Make sure it's on 2. Each speaker has its own hookup in the back, so what I'm gonna have to do is I'm gonna have to connect all of them together on the back. Got everything hooked up, positive to positive, 2 ohms all the way across. Now about to drill her in there. Now it's time to mount the amp. Now a lot of people, they just screw it onto the back of the box. I really don't like doing that because what that does is right here, these heat vents don't have room to breathe. So your heat's just caught in there. Made in China. No, this is gonna last a while. This is just temporary. I really don't care much about having cheap audio equipment. You know, if I just want something simple, I will. But for this, I got the Infinities, the 10s. I always try to make sure I have a good amp. So eventually I'm gonna get a new amp. The box, probably gonna be permanent, because it's in there. I ain't fighting with that damn thing again. But anyways, so what I'm gonna do, because the heat has to come out of those vents in the back. I got these that the speakers was held into, and I'm gonna put this underneath it to give it spacing for the heat to escape and let it all vent out. Also, me putting that cushion there, it gives a little bit of cushion for the vibration that box is gonna be giving also. But also, as you can see, there's plenty of room for heat to escape and go around the heat sink and out of the vent hose at the bottom. I got the speaker ports right here, about center with this, so they can come together and come down right here. That's why I put it on this side. Now let's wire it up. All of the positive, all of the red is going to be tied together, going to the positive. All the negatives are going to be tied together, going to the negative. How I'm going to do that yet, I don't know. Let's find out. All right, hear me out. The reason I don't like this is because I'm cheap. I don't want to go buy more wire, and it makes sense. So you got 3 loads coming off of this. These wires are thicker. They're actually smaller, but they're actual pure copper, and the wire themselves is thicker. So when we having 2 wires coming out to this distribution block thing right here, then all the positives coming from here to each speaker, it's not getting restricted by one little bitty wire coming to here, then going to 3 other speakers. Yeah, that's a little janky, but hey, it's gonna work. Nobody's gonna see it, as long as it sounds good. That's all I care about. We got to get positive, negative, remote wire, and sound coming to it through the RCAs. So this will go through a fuse directly to the positive on the battery. This will be grounded out somewhere to the ground, your chassis ground. And then the remote wire will normally go to the back of your CD player. I'm running off my factory unit, so I'll probably hook this up to the fuse box over there on a key on switch. And then with me running the factory radio, I don't have RCA, so I'm probably gonna have to get a connector that will go into RCAs and then go out to speaker wires. Or I'm gonna have to splice into some RCAs, which that's probably what I do for now. I do have this I'm gonna install also. So if I install this back here on the box, that'd be a place where I can hook up to, and I plan on running a capacitor or an extra battery back here also, probably just a really big capacitor. But to get the power wire back here, I think it's gonna be pretty easy. I should be able to run it over to here, into here, down here, and this all just pops in and out. As long as I can get through the firewall up there somewhere, it should be all right. All right, look, got her did. Well, I got some of it did. I got the power wire hooked up to the distribution block right here. Got this, of course, ran through here. Went ahead and used a old ground wire for the LS. Ran that through here, hooked that up. Pure copper wire, really good. Versus this stuff. This stuff I got on Amazon, or at least this strip. This is an extra piece I had left over. This right here, of course, I got from Poston's, Bowling Green, Kentucky. It is a Stinger. I think that's what it's called, Stinger. OFC. But this stuff right here is a lot better than this stuff off Amazon. This stuff feels really brittle, cheap. It's not quality. This stuff I got from Stinger, it seems like it's a lot better. I'd recommend doing that if you want some good quality wire, especially with high wattage applications. Of course, already showed this. So now, only thing I gotta do now is back here at least is get the RCAs hooked up, which I'm gonna run it off the 6x9s like I mentioned, and do the remote wire over to the fuse box, the key on power. What I got going on up here is I didn't order long enough wire. So if you're doing this, make sure you get at least 15 feet of wire. I only got 10. I don't know why. I guess I was cheap and I didn't want to spend over $100 because it was 10 foot or $10 per foot. Anyways, so I just got this here for now until I get longer wire. And this is the only other wire I had laying around tonight. It's 2 o'clock in the morning. So I ran 2 wires, 2 8-gauge wires, to try to make up for it. Really, I should have ran like 3 or 4, but it definitely needs more power because it's wanting to suck it into where? Right there. Right there. Down there somewhere. I can't even see it. I had to feel it by hand. Ran up here, got that like that, rigged, but it's gonna work for now until I get the actual cable. Like I said, I got more stuff I'm gonna be doing. I got a radio I'm gonna put in here, a doubled in. That's gonna be a whole video all in itself. Alright, so I found me some old RCAs out of my Camaro, spliced them, got them all situated as you can see here. I'm gonna run one to one speaker and one to the other speaker. The RCA's right there. I found key-on bolts now for the remote. These rare diffusers right here, I'm gonna go off of the one right here. The key-on bolts. Right now with the key off, connect the meter to it, got 0 volts. Turn the key on, got 12. Got the remote ran underneath the carpet. Don't ask me how I do it. I did it and I won't tell. But I got it ran underneath there, got it hooked up. Now theoretically I should be able to turn the key on and the amp will come on. Now I gotta finish hooking up the RCAs and we should have some boom boom. Kinda hard to see, but I got the RCAs ran directly to the 6x9s in the back. So before I start putting all the panels and everything back on, I'm going to test it because I'd hate for something to be wrong, have to go back and take everything back apart. So let's see if we got power. Got a blue light. Well, I ran into my first problem. The 2 outside subs was hitting, the center one was not. It still sounded pretty dang good, but I took it out. I checked the wires up in the back first, but this is in the middle. Should be there. So I don't know what was going on with it here. That's the way it should be. Alright, let's put her back in and see what she does. Well, I still got some rattles. Really can't see in the video, but the light is going dim, so I'm definitely going to have to get a extra battery back here. But I'm definitely going to have to either get a bigger alternator, definitely going to get a capacitor or extra battery back there, because it is killing my electrical system. I was hoping it wouldn't be that bad, but it is. But it sounds amazing. I love it. Love it. I like 310s because the 10s are more accurate. I feel like, my opinion, I'm not a professional, but I always feel like the 10s is more accurate. It has more of the tones and the thumps that I like. And it, you know, when you get 3 of them, it just, I don't know, I like the sound of 310s. I always have. Not saying I don't like 15s and I don't like 12s, because 12s, I like both of them. I love 15s, I love 12s, but just 310s together just always been my favorite. But oh yeah, it needs more power. Needs more power. All right. So I hooked up my system in the 2012 Malibu, but I'm tired. I'm about to get home and go to bed. As always, till next time.
I'm already been dirty. What the shit?
It's in my pants.
What the
Smell my,
smelling that?
smell my finger.
No, hell no.